Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben's podcast. I hope that you're enjoying the podcast so far. Remember to click that subscribe button on whatever platform you're listening to so that you get notified when new podcasts come up. And remember to follow me on all my social media channels, Gardening with Ben on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. And in the description is a link to my merchandise shop where we sell some fantastic gardening t-shirts and hoodies for you to wear down in the garden or when you're out and about. So grab yourself a brew, sit back, relax and enjoy today's episode. Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben, and welcome to today's episode here on the podcast channel that you're listening to. Make sure you do share your listenings on Instagram stories so that I can see that you've listened to it, and I will share your posts as well. And it's great to see other people who have listened to my podcast as well, so make sure you do share it on Instagram. If you didn't listen to yesterday's episode was all about what seeds and plants you can plant in September. So this month we will be also looking at what jobs need to be done in the garden and the allotment. So we'll be going through all the categories like we normally do, from the vegetables, the fruits and the flowers. So we're going to be looking at what vegetable jobs need doing. So if you're growing French beans in the garden, make sure you keep picking off any beans that are ready, as this will help the others grow. If you leave them on, it will only slow down the production and it will encourage the others to grow. When your peas are finished cropping, don't pull up the plants like you'd think you would do. Chop them off at the bottom, as this lets all the nutrients go back into the soil. This is a little good tip which not everybody seems to know. So just trim them off at the bottom, leave the roots in, and the nutrients will go back into the ground. Potatoes, now you should be digging up your main crops. If you want to leave them in the ground until you're ready to eat them, just cut the foliage off at the top of the plants to stop any diseases spreading across the potato patch. If you're growing pumpkins now, a lot of people like to grow pumpkins just to see how big they can actually grow them, but if you want to stop them from rotting, place them on a wooden plank or a slate to stop the bottom of them rotting against the soil, because the damp could cause the pumpkin to rot and you'll end up losing it, and you don't want to do that. So runner beans, you still need to keep harvesting them runner beans. You may have had millions off already, given loads to friends and family, but keep picking them. These will keep producing until October if you're lucky. If they have finished producing, do the same as peas. You just cut them off at the bases and leave the roots in, and all the nutrients will go back into the ground, and that will help produce better plants next year. Sweet corn. Now is around the time when you're going to be picking all them delicious sweet corn. This is the best thing that I do grow on my plot. It's absolutely phenomenal. Now with sweet corn, what you need to do is make sure it's ready by squeezing one of the kernels. It should be watery and it shouldn't be milky colour. So yeah, no, if I got that wrong, sorry. If they're watery, they need a bit longer, but when it's the milky colour, that means they are ready. So yeah. And also the tassels on the end usually go brown. Now with sweet corn, as soon as you pick them, the starches in them start reducing straight away, so you need to get them in the pan and cook them straight away, or they start losing the flavour. That's what gives them the delicious taste. So as soon as you've picked them, they need to be boiled straight away to eat. Tomato plants, if you're growing them outdoors, pinch off the top of the plant, ripening, and to encourage them to get ready and finally produce those delicious tomatoes. Fruit garden jobs. Apples will be starting to get ready now. The best way to see if they are ready is to put the apple in the palm of your hand. It should just come away easy and in your hand. You shouldn't have to pull it. If you have to pull it, that means it's still not ready and you need to leave it a bit longer. Blackberries, make sure you pick them all off before the birds get them. Freeze as many as you can, and don't waste any. They're too expensive in the supermarkets, so keep picking them and freezing them, and you could be eating blackberries all the way through winter time. Blackcurrant bushes. Take cuttings this month to start new bushes off in your garden, or give them away to the neighbours if you want to start some currant bushes off. Also, gooseberry bushes. Why not try taking gooseberry cuttings and seeing if you can grow your own gooseberry bushes? So that is the tip for this month on gooseberries. Plums. If you have any left on the tree, I know I certainly will not do soon, make sure they're all picked and ready, as leaving them to rot can attract the wasps, and also it's not good to leave rotten fruit on the tree. Raspberries. If you're growing a summer variety of raspberries, prune the canes back that have had the fruit on them to the base. You leave the canes what are the new growth from this year. They will be the ones that fruit next year. Strawberries. Clear away any straw away from the plants. This stops any diseases forming on the plants. Make sure you've potted up all your runners that have formed and plant them in the ground to where you're wanting them to go. Jobs in the flower garden. Climbing roses. Once they finish flowering, these can be pruned back ready for next year. Flowers, just keep deheading them all, keep them looking tidy, and they will keep providing colour right through until the colder weather. Hanging baskets. Some of them will start to look like they're finished now, but a lot of them, if you keep deheading them, keep feeding them on a weekly basis, they will keep blooming till the first frost. Rhododendrons. Right, these need to be kept really well watered this month, as the flower buds they produce now will be how much they flower next year, so make sure you keep them watered well through September. So that is all your tips on what jobs need to be done in the garden this month. So make sure you've made a list of them, create yourself a checklist, and get all them jobs done in the garden to keep it looking fantastic. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. As always, we enjoy recording them for you, and make sure you do subscribe and share it on your Instagram stories, and leave a review. Please leave a review if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, as I know a lot of the percentage of people do listen on Apple Podcasts who are listening in. So yeah, thanks for listening, and as always, remember, keep gardening. Thank you for listening to today's episode. We hope you've enjoyed Gardening with Ben. Remember to do click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the podcasts that are launched, and check out the link in my bio to my fantastic shop selling some fantastic t-shirts and hoodies for you to wear down at the allotment. And you can also get a Gardening with Ben mug, so feel free to check it out, and remember, keep gardening.